as we get Okay, well, welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us this morning for our webinar on multi-channel marketing. Today we are hybrid, as you can see, so we have some guests there in person at the chamber office, and we have some here on Zoom. So if our Zoom friends have any questions throughout the program, you can feel free to add them in the chat box, and we will be doing some Q&A later in the event. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today's presentation. Beth Cole started working part-time for What's Up Media, helping out with their events over 7 years ago. In the fall of 2017, she took on a full-time position as an account executive with primary responsibility for the West County area. She truly enjoys helping her clients grow their businesses by getting them in front of their target market with What's Up Media's print publications, digital or social media marketing, and events. Beth is also a valued member of one of our Chamber's Business Connection networking groups. So Beth, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Christy, for that nice introduction. As Christy said, my name is Beth Cole. I'm an account executive with What's Up Media, and I'm going to, whoops, here we go. Oh, it looks like I have to scroll. My page down is not working on my computer. So What's Up Media publishes the city and regional lifestyle publications for the Annapolis, West County, and Eastern Shore areas. These are targeted direct mail pieces that go directly to customers' homes or readers' homes at no charge to the reader. What's Up Media also publishes 3 specialty publications: What's Up Weddings, which publishes in the spring and the fall, and then the Naval Academy came to What's Up Media to put together the Navy Guide, and that goes out to anybody associated with the Naval Academy, whether it's midshipmen, alumni, staff, and it also goes out in their gift shop. And then Anne Arundel County Department of Aging also came to What's Up Media to put together their services for seniors, or their senior guide for Anne Arundel County. So for many business owners, one of the biggest questions is where and what to spend marketing dollars on. Is it print, TV, radio, digital, or social media? Well, the answer is it's a combination of these it's a combination of these different channels. Marketing is a combination of efforts, with a multi-channel approach being the most effective. The most successful advertisers utilize a multi-channel approach to drive maximum ROI, or return on investment, with a 3-channel approach being the minimum. Usually the marketing trifecta is your traditional channel, which would be like your print, TV, and radio. That would be your traditional channel, but then you also have that digital channel, as well as that social media channel. So to start off with, I'm going to share 4 references that support a multi-channel approach to marketing. The first slide is actually from BRDC, which is one of the UK's leading research agencies with a track record of helping clients find effective insights to the trickiest challenges. So this just states how to maximize ROI. Print alone delivers a 5% average lift across all brand measures. However, the most effective combination for delivering a strong return on investment is a mix of print and digital, leading to an increase of 17% over digital alone. The second slide comes from Forbes, but it just states that print is memorable. Print creates an emotional connection. Print builds relationships. Physical material is more real to the brain, involves more emotional processing, is better connected to memory, with greater internalization of ads, which is all important for brand associations, and that's from Forbes. So basically, print has a better recall, a better internalization. The third slide is, rather than an all digital world, it appears that a multi-channel approach that leverages the unique benefits of paper with the convenience and accessibility of digital will perform best. And that's from Forbes as well. But it just states the combination leverages the unique benefits of both. Print has a better recall, better internalization, while digital offers that convenience and instantaneous access. And the last slide, as far as a reference, is from Freeport Press. Print drives traffic to your website. 75% of readers report that the #1 action they take when responding to an ad in a magazine is to visit the vendor's website. And that's real human traffic, not fake traffic from ad bots. So print drives the familiar factor. When a customer sees an ad and wants to find out more information, the first thing they do is they pull out their phone and they go to Google. Customers always want to do research before they engage with a business. So when someone goes to Google as a business owner, you don't want that customer to Google something generic, just say like restaurants near me. You want them to Google your business specifically by name. So marketing does not produce instantaneous results. Running one ad, whether it's print, TV, radio, or digitally, is not going to result in a rush of customers to your physical location or website. We wish it did, but that's magic. That's not marketing. As an advertiser, you always want to be top of mind. Customers also have needs. Customers also have needs at different times for a business's product or service. So to be top of mind, a business has to be consistently in front of a customer with their message. So when a customer does have a need for your business's product or service, that your business is the first one they think of by name. So when a customer does go to Google, they're Googling your business by name and not something generic. So this is the typical sales funnel right here. I'm gonna have to kind of slide it down. This sales funnel is similar across all buying groups and industries, whether it's a car manufacturer, a painting company, a lawn care company, a restaurant, a clothing store, or even a physician. Across all buying groups or industries, what percentage of people do you think are at the buying stage of the sales funnel where they actually have to make a decision to buy something? Does anybody have any guesses? No guesses? Well, I will go on to the next. They might have a guess. Okay, I'll go on to the next slide. So, only 3 to 5%. I'm going to slide this up a little bit more. So, only 3 to 5% are at the point in the sales funnel where they are about to buy or have to make some type of decision, yes or no. The other 96% are not ready to buy. So every person is at a different stage of a business's sales funnel. So at the awareness stage, this is a great place for traditional marketing, print, TV, radio, because you're casting a fairly large net as far as marketing, as far as creating that greater awareness. You're touching a greater number of people with traditional media like print, TV, and radio. You're making customers aware of your product or service or creating a need for your product or service, because they can't have an interest if they're not even aware of your product or service. So at the interest stage, the customer has a need or a want for your product or service. So they're starting to do research. They're visiting websites at this point. So a customer can't make a decision. They can't get down to this point. They can't make a decision if they've not done their research. And the interest and decision stages of the sales funnel are a great place for digital marketing, such as SEO, which is search engine optimization, SEM, which is search engine marketing, or targeted display, or even retargeting. So at the decision stage, they are about to buy or they have to make a decision, yes or no. So 96% of the people are not, 96% of the people in a business's sales funnel are not ready to buy. So people are at different stages of the sales funnel, and this shows why a multi-channel approach is the most effective combination to move that customer through their buying journey. You're creating that awareness with that traditional media, and then as they're doing their research, you're pinging them. And then if they've started to do their research, then you're retargeting them. But then again, still casting that, that traditional media, that awareness out there. So it's a combination of efforts there. And to move a customer quicker through the typical sales funnel, a company would have to utilize a direct response ad. A direct response ad will push that customer through the sales funnel quicker or faster with a compelling price, a compelling offer, or compelling reward. So you need to make them, want to buy something when they weren't ready to buy something. So it's typically something really ramdazzle to push them through that sales funnel, like a BOGO offer, a buy one, get one free, or 25 to 50% off some big ticket item. So it has to be a really good reason for them to purchase something now when they weren't at that point where they were ready to purchase. So I'll go over here are some digital marketing terms and just examples. So SEO is search engine optimization, and that's making sure that your business is visible on the web by optimizing your website, your Google My Business page, and making sure all your information is accurate on all the local listings like Yelp and Bing. So this Harvest Time Tavern, this is an example of a Google My Business page. And then search engine marketing is the act of purchasing space at the top of a search engine results page by bidding on keywords relevant to your business. So anytime you see ad next to, a business's name or or their URL address, they're bidding on keywords relevant to your business. So they're purchasing that space at the top of the search engine results page. And then targeted display. Targeted display, this is targeting your ads based on a customer's web browsing history, on any websites that are relevant to your industry, or just a customer's demographics and their location. So, like for schools, an ad for a school, maybe, they'll place all their ads on websites that are related to education or parenting and families. And then like a doctor's ad, that would be like on any, health related websites. They would place their ads on that because that's relevant to their industry. And then retargeting, that's delivering ads to people that have visited your website. So usually if a company places a pixel on their website, when you visit their website, they can tell that you have, and that pixel, it will retarget your devices because you've went to that website. So if you've noticed, maybe you've looked at, like, say, a purse online, and all of a sudden you go to every other website and that purse, is magically appearing on your website. They have a pixel on their website, and they're retargeting you until they make that conversion, until you buy. Another way they do that is with emails. If you visited a website and then you might get an email in your email box that says, "You've got great taste," and then an image of that purse shows up in your mailbox again. So that's retargeting, delivering ads that to people who have visited your website. So my next question I'll throw out there is, how many times do you feel someone needs to see your business message before they decide to pick up the phone or visit your website? Does anybody have any guesses? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yep. So this chart right here, this chart shows the effect repeated exposure has on awareness and intent. So when there was only traditional means of marketing, when it was just print, TV, and radio, it used to be the rule of 7. People needed to see your message 7 times before they decided to do business with you. But nowadays, people need to see your message. People are being bombarded by so many different links that it's up to the rule of 20. They're being bombarded by so many different means. So people need to see people needed to see your message 7 times before they picked up the phone to give you a call or visit your physical location. And now it's up to 20 before they pick up the phone and visit your physical location. But this just shows the number of repeated exposures on the bottom. It might be hard to see my screen, but these are the number of exposures. And then you can see the effect it has on awareness and intent. Each time they have that exposure, it increases that awareness and intent. So marketing does not produce instantaneous results. Continuity and consistency is key to staying top of mind. So with What's Up Media, we offer print, digital, social media, as well as events to get businesses in front of their target market. And usually when I meet with businesses, I tend to lead with print first because there is no other publication in the Annapolis, Anne Arundel County area, as well as the Eastern Shore, that can touch What's Up Media as far as the readership and the distribution. It's the publication the local community reads and uses. And so one of the things I also wanted to talk to you about was the best of voting. So I'm sure many of you have seen these logos around town on the windows of businesses or on a company's website. And winning a best of is a great way for a company to bring in new customers and reinforce the confidence with their existing clients. So the best of voting takes place online on What's Up Media's website from October 1st to November 30th every year. So it's taking place right now. So there are 2 full months of voting and it's going on right now, like I said. A recommended approach to campaigning for the best of is to choose at least 1 to 3 specific categories that you would like to win in deploying an email and social media campaign. Make it easy for your clients to vote for you. Clients, family, friends, make sure it's easy for them to vote for you by sending them the ballot link. So as far as the best of, it's broken down into 3 regions. You've got best of Annapolis, best of Eastern Shore, and then best of West County. And then after that, it's broken down into this is a list of all the categories, but then it's broken down into different sections. We have food and dining, health and beauty. Then there is retail and professional services, and also home and design. So, and then under each section are the categories. So, for an example, I have a client that is an Italian restaurant in this area. So he would want to campaign for best of West County in the food and dining, and he might want to, let people vote for us for Italian restaurant, but also vote for us for pizza, local pizza. So kind of pick 1 to 3 categories. You don't want to pick more than 3 because then you're kind of spreading it too thin. So you want to focus on what you want to win and what you want to hang your hat on and ask them to vote for you. So the results are tallied in the month of December. What's Up Media will start notifying winners via email and at the beginning of the year, and all the results will be rolled out. They're going to be rolled out in the June 2022 issue. So the best of parties. This is some images from the best of parties, but the best of parties are scheduled to take place in May and June of 2022. The best of parties are a celebration of the best of Annapolis, best of what Annapolis, West County, and Eastern Shore has to offer. We have approximately 600 to 700 attendees at these best of parties prior to COVID. So hopefully this year we can have that party. So there's about 600 to 700 attendees. We have over 20 winning restaurants that showcase bite-sized samples of their winning specialty. There's also a silent auction where you can bid on items and services from the winning businesses. And it's just a big party and celebration with great food, drinks, fun, dancing. It's just a lot of fun. So the big question I'm going to throw out to you guys, who will be campaigning for the best of this month, the best of 2022 this month in October and November? Anybody planning on campaigning? So that's it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
I have a question. So as far as voting, is it like you guys limit, like do you allow people to vote multiple times for the same thing? So there's no like limit, like it's like one and then.
Well, we asked people to put in their email addresses so that we can tell if somebody is kind of ballot stuffing, as you might call it, but you can vote more than once. It's not going to stop you if you want to do that. But if somebody is going out of hand, we are going to notice because of the email addresses. You can vote using different email addresses and you can vote more than one time. But if it's significant, a red flag will go up. Well, thanks. Great question. Any other questions?
So with regard to cost, like for SEM, what would be a good budget for a small business to take on?
I'd have to look at everything and then I can send a proposal to our digital marketing team.
In a roundabout.
Mhm.
So what categories generated?
Well, we actually pared them down this year. We used to have a lot more categories, but we pared them down for more reader engagement. So they're pretty standard categories, you know. Is there a specific category you were looking for?
We sell office furniture. We don't know what category we ever are.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Okay.
service-based, you know,
Uh-huh.
Sale, like I see furniture stores there, and I'm already thinking like, oh, I nominate my client. Because furniture stores would be our client.
Mhm.
But we offer the service of all furniture.
Okay. That's a good question. I'll have to look into that one for you.
I'm thinking of the realtor, what category would a realtor fall under?
A realtor,
If you're a waterfront realtor.
um,
a real estate team.
they have a real estate team and brokerage.
Okay, I saw it. I recommended that.
Yep. I was gonna say there has to be a realtor in there because we do really well with the realtors as far as a lot of realtors utilize, you know, What's Up Media.
Hi, Beth. This is Zachary Cochran. I have a question for you as well. In terms of your thoughts on newer media, for example, TikTok has been rising in popularity. Continuous use of social media like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. What would you say your thought is on adopting or using those as a part of the continued awareness, especially given that you've shown that print is really more effective with that?
Yeah, in the beginning of the presentation, usually, you know, we recommend a multi-channel approach and usually 3 channels is the minimum and social media is one of those channels. Usually you have your out of the 3 channels, it would be like a traditional channel, which would be print, TV, and radio. Then you have that digital component, but then also that social media component. So I do recommend social media as a channel. It's just one of the many things as far as, you know, just touching any client. You need to touch them at least 20 times, and social media is a great way to touch them as well. So I do recommend that social media channel.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Have you seen more of a push towards linking to social media lately? I guess more specifically, what have you seen in the print ads as far as what the trends are?
As far as linking, I mean, I would recommend, like, we have digital links with our print. We offer that, but also anytime we have, you know, businesses linking to social media through our website and stuff like that, I would recommend anytime linking to social media. I don't know if I'm answering your question, just because I know just talking with you, it helps any SEO ranking as
Right.
far as being linked. You know, as far as our digital editions, I do recommend clients when they have an ad that they do the digital link with our digital editions on our websites, because it links their website with our website and it helps their SEO ranking because they're being linked with a trusted source, such as What's Up Media that's getting a lot of traffic. So I recommend that. I don't know if I'm answering your question, Andrew, or not.
Yeah, I was more looking if people were utilizing those links to go to a website first, or if they were linking directly to their social media platforms. I guess it's dependent on the client, but I was just curious if there was a trend lately.
You know, I haven't seen a trend. Just the only thing we do is the websites, but you know, that is a good idea to click to social media sites too. I'm sure it's not going to hurt by any means.
Beth, another question. This is Zachary Cochran. One of the things I've seen used more frequently in the last 2 years are QR codes. I've even had someone bring a piece of paper, hand it out at their presentation. It was a QR code where people could quickly get to a digital page, a website of some sort. Are you using that or have seen that in use a lot? And would you say that's an effective method of getting people to a website quickly and easily? Or is it more, you would recommend a standard approach of, here's our website URL, go here, sort of do that typing and legwork on your own?
No, I think a QR code is great because it gets you there quickly. As far as ads that I've been running in the print publication, I mean, some people utilize a QR code, but I wouldn't say it's the majority, but I do definitely think it's a quicker way to access stuff versus, giving them a website and stuff like that.
Okay, great, thanks.
So you're an account executive. So what exactly do you do day to day?
What do I do today? I make phone calls to businesses when we're working on particular issues. I will reach out to businesses if it's related to their industry. Like say right now we are working on the December issue, which we have a feature story on charitable giving at the end of the year. And then we also did Faces of the Chesapeake. Like Faces of the Chesapeake is for not just for nonprofits, but a lot of nonprofits do utilize it. But Faces of the Chesapeake is a great way for clients to get their story out and tell what sets them apart from the competition. So that Faces issue crosses over into all 3 publications. And then, like I said, a lot of nonprofits take advantage of that. But, just reaching out to say this month, December, we have that end of the year charitable giving. So I'm reaching out to a lot of nonprofits because, again, that's related to their industry and of interest to their target market. So it's a great way for them to, if they want to put an ad in the publication next to that feature story and make that call to action, whether it's to donate or get more volunteers. We also have the gift guides in the December issue. So I'm reaching out to a lot of retail stores because they can feature a product, or a set that's going to drive people to their website or their physical location. A lot of restaurants with gift cards or gift packages, that's a great way to kind of create that awareness and drive them to their website so that it's an easy conversion for them as far as business. So depending on what month we're working on, I'll reach out to those businesses. And then a lot of times I'm doing presentations. And prior to doing those presentations, I'll always, look into the business and look at their website and see what works for them and stuff like that. So I can figure out different ways to help them with any of our products.
Between SEM and SEO, like at what point would you advise versus one or the other? Because obviously SEO is something that you can really do more on your own. Like obviously it's helpful to have support, but SEO is more of like just like little things you can do to improve your ranking. But then as far as SEM, I guess just getting to that point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would recommend doing SEO first, because that's kind of the foundation. And then if you have additional budget, then maybe adding on SEM.
Beth, this is Zachary again. So speaking of budget, question about how would you sort of prototype your marketing efforts so that you're not wasting money on areas where you're just not seeing a return? And maybe some of that has to do with, which channels you're using.
It's more of a tracking. I would think tracking as far as a business owner, as far as what you're spending your money on and what's working. The one thing is print is tough to track. You're not getting the click-throughs there or anything, but it is driving people to your website. But as far as, that's more looking at your budget, what you're spending, and then having some type of, tracking system in place for what you are spending.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you.
I do have a client that, as far as What's Up Media with the print publication, it's the distribution is pretty extensive. It goes to a lot of people's homes. But I do have one client who does a really good job as far as tracking his marketing, because like I said, print's tough to track. But But he asks 3 questions, and he has his staff trained to ask 3 questions when people come in. And usually when someone comes in, the first question is, oh, how did you hear about us? Well, 99.9% of the time people are going to say, I went to your website. You know, they didn't wake up that morning and miraculously say, I'm going to go to Dr. So-and-so's website today. You know, there has to be something driving them there. So then he asks a second question, and he has the staff trained to ask, you know, what drove you to my website? So he has said, I don't feel 100% confident in that answer because of, you know, you've put the onus back on them, and they're kind of giving you the first thing that pops into their head, whether it's right or wrong. It could be my friend, it could be, you know, anything. So his third question that he always asks is, he asked, did you see my ad? Because he's like, I'm spending money here, I want to make sure it's working. And so he's like, I never say in What's Up Magazine or anything like that. And he's like, every time they respond, I saw your ad in What's Up Magazine. So he's like, I know the magazine works. And so he's since has added on all 3 publications. And then again, I had another client who he's in the home improvement industry, and he does a really good job as far as mixing up his ad, because in the home industry, you always have to kind of be on top of trends, whether, you know, it's a kitchen or bath or anything like that. And someone literally walked in with our magazine and said, I want this kitchen. He's like, I paid for my ad budget for the year. So he's like, I know it works, you know. So it's just, with print, like I said, it's tough to track, but you have to kind of dig down and see if it's working. And it's just one channel. It's not going to be the end all be all. It's going to be a combination of efforts.
So quick question in terms of proposal on that. I work with a number of business owners, and just have a number of business owners in my network. And some, you know, might be wondering or interested in how to get started with this. So, you know, would you recommend that a starting marketing budget for a small business should be in the, you know, $1,000 to $5,000 range? Could you start for less than that? Would it be impossible to start without a lot more than that? Help me understand what would be sort of a good target, especially for someone who's in a startup phase.
Yeah, well, each customer is different. So I usually meet with them, and I do give them 3 different options. You know, I ask them how they want to be perceived within the community and within the competitive landscape. And I do give 3 different options as far as proposals. But I look at what works for them, and I try to work with people's budgets. So it really is dependent on the business, and every business is different. And I always individualize, proposals as far as meeting with somebody and figuring out what's going to work with them. So I can't really broad stroke it generally.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. It's
I don't
custom
want to
to
like
the,
put a number out there and,
Sure.
that's,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it
So
might be something that's not going to work for them.
understood. Maybe to re-ask the question, if I was to, so I'm a career coach, and when I work with people, typically, if someone's not willing to invest at least $500 in their own development, they're kind of too small, and I'll point them or direct them toward more self-directed resources to figure out how to transition in their careers. So, is there a minimum budget, or can someone be too small to work with you?
I probably would be doing the same thing as you. Like, I would give them, these are some options that would work for you. If it's not within your budget, maybe we can, talk about campaigning for Best Of, so that'll help their business grow. And Best Of doesn't cost people, money to do. That's something that they can put out there, but just working with them to help them kind of create that awareness and grow their business.
So
as far as different ways.
So Beth, I'm going to kind of jump in and just make a comment. What I would suggest is 7 to 8% of your gross revenue. So you would probably want to talk with the client and making sure that they are creating a budget, because a lot of people, that's what they don't do, and that hurts them. So I think educating them on that. So everybody's number is going to be different based on what their gross revenue is.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Beth. Yeah,
Very
thanks,
helpful.
Michelle. I appreciate that. Yeah, Michelle's right. It's like 7 to 8%. If they want to be more aggressive and grow their business, then they would aim more for like 10% of their revenue.
Great, thank you.
I was going to jump in and add a kind of comment to Zachary's comment. I think that's an interesting question because the range of everything, even in SEM, can fluctuate so much. And it really is, just to back up your comment, it really is completely dependent on what you want your perception in the community to be and how much you kind of want to permeate the audience. You know, the budget is so wide, and I've been on the receiving end of one of Beth's presentations, and what I will say is that she breaks it down extremely well and makes it really easy to understand the options that you have. So I just wanted to jump in and say props to her, because that to me made me understand how to do things like formulate my budget when thinking about integrating, especially the print as well as their digital advertising services.
Thank you, Andrew.
I think too, key is not sticking with the same budget. Like, things change over time. Prices of things go up. Everything should change. Your income should change. So if you're sticking with at least 7 to 8%, it shouldn't be, I have the same budget and 10 years later, you have that same budget. So a lot of people will say, oh, I have the same budget, because then it makes it really difficult to progress forward with that same budget, because everything, obviously the cost of, for example, printing, paper, everything is going to change over time. So I do find a lot of people will get stuck with, they come year after year with the same budget, and you really need to look that you should be making more money each year. And if costs of things are going up, then your prices are going to increase as well. So you need to kind of also educate people on that, because that's really important, that you're not trying to stick with a budget you had 20 years ago. You know, it's something that I hear a lot.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you all. I appreciate your time.
She's having some technical difficulties. She's frozen on the screen, so she's trying to unmute. Well, thank you all for coming. We do have just a few announcements, some upcoming events that I want to make you aware of. Tomorrow we will have a coffee catch up at Wheels Skating Center here in Odenton. That'll be from 9:30 to 11. It'll be in-person networking. So smaller group of people, not quite as large as our evening mixers, but still a lot of fun, and lots of new faces are joining us tomorrow. So if you have time in your schedule, feel free to register for that. And then on November 3rd, we will have our economic forecast with U.S. Chamber economist Curtis Dubé, and our 3 economic development corporation CEOs will be joining us for a panel discussion to talk about the regional economy, what they're seeing, what they're expecting to see as the recovery from the pandemic continues. So join us for that. It is a lunchtime event. Registration is open for that. And we hope to see you there. I think that's all the comments I have, unless anybody has a burning question. Feel free to unmute. Otherwise, we will see you at an event in the near future. Have a great day.
Bye, thank you.
Beth, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for your time.